This podcast is brought to you by the Startup Core Podcast and by Velena.
Come with me to discover the transformative power of kindness and the joy it brings. Join me as we explore every Monday morning simple yet profound ways to elevate your happiness, one gesture at a time.
Wow, fantastic, baby. Dance. I'm gonna dance. Fantastic, baby.
Welcome to another episode of The Complete Guide to Happiness. This was destined, or at least planned, to be my first interview because I think it's one of the most important ones, at least for me, because this gentleman you're about to meet is one of the kindest people on the planet, and he's the founder of Peace, Love, and Happiness, which I felt very apropos because this is the complete guide to happiness. He's also the founder of Patron Tequila, one of the biggest tequilas in the world. He's got a new brand coming out, Bandero, I believe it's called, and he's in 140 or 125 countries with this product called John Paul Mitchell hair products. We all have, most of us have hair, at any rate. So I'm gonna talk to JP today. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for one of my cooking episodes. I gotta reach down and figure out which one I'm gonna pull out from my hundreds of cooking shows around the world. But as you know, in my monologue, which is part of the format of the show, I like to read quotes to inspire. You know, I deliver these quotes every day to my hundreds of WhatsApp groups around the world to hopefully inspire, motivate. And unfortunately, a lot of people are too busy working to enjoy them. Because if you don't enjoy the little things in life, then you're missing out a lot. And, you know, a quote might make your day, might make you smile. It's only 5 seconds to watch it. And hopefully my admin are passing it on to their groups because that takes 5 seconds. You know, you've got to enjoy every day because you don't know if you're going to have tomorrow. We don't have yesterday because that's in the books, and we just have to enjoy life. And I hope you're going to get a lot of great advice from this show. You're going to obviously hear some fantastic stories because of my 9,600 plus ambassadors. They are amazing. JP is ambassador number 171. And I've got some amazing ambassadors, and every episode so far has been fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you, because this is episode number 7. So here are the quotes for the day. Abraham Lincoln, he was our 16th president, and he said, "Folks are usually about as happy as they make their minds up to be." And maybe that's the accent, the southern drawl he had. It's up to you to be happy. Don't expect other people to make you happy. Happiness is when you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Makes a lot of sense. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Epictetus said that, the philosopher. I love the philosophies from these great ones like Rene Descartes, who is my favorite one because he said, "I think, therefore I am. If you think you're beautiful, you are. If you think you're ugly, you are." Another great quote from Henry Ford was, "If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right." So it's what you think. Think you're beautiful, think you're happy, and you will be. I promise you. Here's a great one. Do more of what makes you happy. So whatever you did today, whatever you did last week, whatever you're doing in your life that makes you happy, keep doing it. I mean, does that make sense? I think it does. And another quote, choose life, choose happiness, and make someone smile. You know, I walked down the streets here in Antigua, and I crossed paths with an Antiguan that I know doesn't speak English because they're old. I'm pretty much right 99.9% of the time. And I'll look in their eyes because I would look in everyone's eyes, and I smile at everyone I see. And when they connect eyes with me, I say, "Que tengas un día fantástico," which means have a fantastic day. Their faces light up, their eyes get wider. They say, "Igualmente, muchas gracias," which is same to you, thank you very much. And that makes me feel happy to do that. That might be the only smile they get in that day. Someone told me yesterday that a local here, one of my neighbors actually, finally met a neighbor that speaks English. He said too many people are walking around with frowns. They're not smiling. When you smile, you live 5 minutes longer. When you laugh, you live an hour longer. So when you say to someone, you look fantastic, you did a fantastic job, or when they ask you how you are and you say, I am fantastic, you make them smile. And it makes you smile, which might bring you out of a bad mood. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They make the best of everything. And it's up to you to do that. So don't think you need to be rich and famous to be happy. Because believe me, I know a lot of rich and famous people, and they're not all happy. Happiness, money can bring you nice things like a nice yacht and a nice car and a nice steak, but it doesn't bring you happiness. Happiness is, here it is. Happiness is not about getting all you want. It's about enjoying all you have. I don't have much now anymore, and I'm very happy not to have it. I don't have a car anymore, so I don't have insurance bills, car payments, tires to repair, tires to replace, oil to change, gas to fill it up, accidents to be worried about. I like sitting in the back of taxis and limos and having them drive me. So, there's a lot to be said for not having a lot of the stuff. And not accidents. People die in cars. It's horrible. And if you're rich and famous, why you will drive yourself is beyond me. Do not drive yourself, because someone else is may run into you and take your life. And that happens all the time. If you're in the back of a big stretch limo, odds are you're going to be safe. Very few people die in stretch limousines. So that's some advice. Be happy. Not because everything is good, but because you see good in everything. Ain't that a great statement? And lastly, but don't let the little things steal your happiness. Yeah, that's right. I had to put that last word in on myself. This is the complete guide to happiness. I hope you're happy today. I hope you'll be happy tomorrow. I hope you'll be happy with this next interview, because this man is fantastic. He's one of the kindest people I know. And kindness leads to happiness. And that's what you're here watching this show, to be happy. So here goes. An interview with John Paul DeJoria from Austin, Texas. That's one of his homes. He's got homes all over the world, and as he should. Why not? You can't take your money with you. I've never seen a hearse with a U-Haul behind it. Does that make sense? Well, everyone, after weeks of waiting, JP finally calls me, and we're going to have a fantastic time with JP today. He's a man that I don't think needs any introduction, unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple decades. You might know him as JP, or as John Paul DeJoria, the founder of Patron Tequila. Firstly, I think he founded John Paul Mitchell Hair Systems. He's got a number of different companies, one of which we're going to really talk about today, because this is the complete guide to happiness. And he's the founder of a company, or an organization, a foundation called Peace, Love, and Happiness. JP, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Monty. Thank you, Dr. Fantastic.
Yes. And Monty is my old life. Dr. Fantastic is my new persona.
I know that.
And
JP,
you are a fantastic human being. You've done so much for so many. But my first question to all my guests is, how do you define happiness?
Happiness is a feeling that you have of total content that makes you smile. That's happiness. And happiness to me is the number one priority in the world, because if you're not happy, you're not going to be healthy. So it's happiness first, health second, and everything else is third.
Well, as you know, I have what's called the 3 commitments to kindness. Do you remember them?
I know you have 3 commitments.
What are they? Do you remember?
Tell me. I know.
Well, the first commitment,
be kind to everybody.
The first commitment, it's an order of importance, by the way, JP.
Okay.
I know you're a busy guy and you can't keep up with everything I do, but in order of importance, I feel these 3 commitments solve all mankind's problems. Right. The first commitment, the most important commitment, and the hardest commitment in life, as you just stated, is to be kind to yourself, to love yourself.
Yep.
The second commitment is the what's called the golden rule: be kind to all others, including God's creatures. And the third commitment, which is a problem today, and we'll talk about that a little bit, is to be kind to our Mother Earth.
Yes.
Now,
Be
what I
kind.
love
Be
about
kind to everything.
one of my sayings is everything happens as it should when it should. Now, you created what's called John Paul Mitchell hair products. Is that how it's put?
I created Patron Tequila. That's correct. And Paul Mitchell hair care products. That is
Now,
correct.
what I like about John Paul, the story you told me, and I want you to tell it, is on the label because you couldn't afford color. So tell me about that, how that happened.
Our bottles were black. Our Paul Mitchell bottles, we first started out, were white bottles that I think I bought for 5 cents each. And then we put the print on it when you silk screen it, black, because we couldn't afford color. A run to do it in black was 2 cents. Color was 7 cents. So we couldn't afford it. Now that was a great mistake, by the way, because it turned out to be a unisex line and we didn't even realize it, that appealed to men and women alike. So sometimes mistakes turn out to be pretty good.
Well, as a philosopher, which I am now, everything happens in life as it should, when it
Correct.
should. And that's a perfect example of not stressing that you couldn't afford the color and just going with an innate feeling that that's going to be fine.
You're 100% correct, Monty, on that.
Who? Who?
Oh, sorry. You're 100% correct. Dr. Fantastic.
Now,
But I
there's
want
a-
to cover
there's a
all
madness-
your old friends too.
There's a madness behind my insanity, JP. When you called me Monty, you didn't smile. When you called me
Okay.
Dr. Fantastic, you have this big ass smile on your face.
Well,
And
let's
that
see.
releases stress.
Monty, Captain Fantastic. Well, yeah, of course, Fantastic gives you a bigger smile. So whenever you
Yes.
say Fantastic, you have a bigger smile. Monty,
And
Fantastic.
it releases stress, anxiety, and depression.
That's great. That's great.
Now, we met, I guess, on your yacht Pirate, if I'm not mistaken. The first time or no?
Well, the first time we met, Monty's been so long, buddy. On Pirate, I saw. Oh no, maybe it was on Pirate. I think it was on Pirate. Yes, you are correct. Bill Schaefer introduced us.
Because I remember we ran into each other in Cannes, but I think we knew each other at that point at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yes, sir.
And you have, do you still have that yacht, by the way? Is it down in Mexico or something?
It's down in Puerto Vallarta right now.
How nice. When's the last time you were on it?
Last time I was on it was a couple years ago.
Well, you have, you're a billionaire, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. And I think it's kind of cool to have and be able to do hopefully what you want to do. Because a lot of billionaires, if they're movie stars or running big corporations, they really can't live their own life because there's so many people dependent on them. Now, I know a lot of people depend on you to do what you're doing, but I think you're a free soul and you do whatever the hell you want to do, right?
Yeah, I pretty much do. And by the way, the yacht was only 60 feet. So this way it's very low key. And I don't like to be flashy. So it's 60 feet, which is still a pretty good sized boat and very, very nice. And it's an old classic. It's an old Chris Craft classic. The last Chris Craft ever made with a mahogany hull. And
Gorgeous.
it's feet long. Oh, it's beautiful plane.
I
Beautiful.
loved captaining that. That was so much fun.
You were
Have you ever been on? Well, I had my yacht. It was bigger than yours, by the way. But did you ever go on my yacht? Merci?
To Mercy?
Merci, my yacht. Did you ever go on my yacht?
No, no, not at all. No,
I had a
you didn't.
65
I saw
foot.
where you were 2 or 3 down from me, I think.
Yeah. I was slip number 12. And Marina Del Rey,
And my,
of course,
and my caviar connection. That was you.
I love the story of me selling caviar to you. We'd meet, everybody who doesn't know this, we'd meet at a gas station on his way to Century City to his office.
Exactly.
And he'd pull up next to my car, and we'd open our trunks, and I'd get the goods out, and then we'd take a little hit of the caviar. I felt like we were doing a drug deal. It was so funny.
Exactly. But eating into drugs.
You just give me the cash,
I give you the cash.
caviar, and we'd all be happy.
It was all caviar.
Yeah, I love caviar. I have now really important before I talk about other things. Well, let's wait for peace, love, and happiness at last. You've got mansions around the world. You were kind enough to let me use your one in Kona. That was a fantastic experience. Thank you again for that. It's something that most people could never experience, and you're such a kind man that it's just, I'm so happy to have you as a friend. And I want to thank you again for that. That was, by the way, everybody, if I remember correctly, it was hand carved in Fiji.
Bali. It was
Bali?
Antigua in Bali, exactly. It took 280 Balinese 4 years to carve that house. And then, of course, we disassembled it, got over to Hawaii, reassembled it with 30 Balinese carpenters and 50 American carpenters. Balinese carpenters, by the way, got very wealthy because I paid them exactly what I paid American carpenters, which is
Nice.
20, 30 times what they would ever make there in Bali. So they went home very, very wealthy by Bali standards, which is wonderful. I love that.
Well, that's expresses how kind you are and generous. Now, I remember that at the edge of each roof, there was like a pagoda or a dragon, and the water from the gutters would spill out of it, and I would open my mouth and drink from
That's
it.
correct. 100% correct. There were dragon mouths came right through the center. That's correct.
You also, in your mansion in Malibu, would throw the most amazing Christmas parties, or I was Santa at one of them, and you would take in snow and invite 4,000 of your closest friends. That was an amazing experience.
Yeah, but actually it was only 1,200, but it seemed like 4,000 because there was a lot of people and it was packed. And we had a wonderful time celebrating the holidays, celebrating goodness and being nice.
Yeah. And my new book is called How to Be a Fantastic Santa Claus. And I cross off Santa and put person because you are Santa, I'm Santa, all fathers are Santa, and it's a great experience to be Santa.
Exactly. And that's great. In fact, during the holidays, when I get on an elevator, for example, and everyone's there, I face the people, not the door of the elevator. I say around Christmas time, hey, happy Santa Claus. Because this way, whether they are Jewish, whether they are Islamic, whether they are Christian, whether they are whatever they are, it gets everybody because Santa Claus is happy. Happy Santa Claus.
And I always say it's better to give than to get. And I know you live by that as well.
I'm a great giver, a lousy getter. I'm terrible at getting things.
I sent you some Christmas gifts last year. Remember do you still have the coffee cup that says "Be kind" on it?
Of course.
Good. Now, being happy, I think being a father, being successful can make you happy. But I think being a father could be one of the most happiest things you can do in life. You have a wonderful daughter by the name of Alexis, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's the fastest woman on the planet. Am I correct in saying that?
I don't know quite for sure because there's a lot of jets faster than her, and there's one other rail driver, I think that is too. Put it this way, she is one of the fastest women in the world. Like her top fuel funny car goes from a dead stop to about 36 miles an hour, 336 miles an hour in 3 point something seconds.
Wow. How many horses to G is that?
She's won a few first places at national races, quite a few. I think she's won 6 or 7 first places at national races.
How many G forces is that? Do you know?
I think it's close to 5 taking off and then close to 5 stopping because it takes 2 parachutes, to stop it, as well as, of course, a nice brace on you.
So, how does your heart feel when you see her do that?
Well, at first it felt like, tears coming out of my eyes, but after that, she did it straight and true, and that's what she loved doing. So I'm 100% behind it.
Is she still doing that?
There is. She certainly is.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations on raising some fantastic children.
Thank you.
I met you have a couple other kids as well, right? What do they do?
Great daughters, great sons, fabulous.
What a life! Okay, and you fly private, which is fantastic. I'm a pilot. My first one of my best experiences in life was my first solo flight. Do you ever want to sit in the co-pilot seat in your planes or no?
I did once in one of my planes. I did once, and that I'm not a pilot because at that time they released the automatic pilot and let me take control. Of course, there's another pilot there with me, but I had the co-pilot seat there. I think within a matter of seconds, they called from the ground and says, "Is everything okay up there?" Because within just barely touching something, I went 300 or 400 feet down.
Wow.
They straightened it out, no problem. So I think it's better I'm a passenger. I'm not qualified as a pilot. I'll let my pilots be the pilots and the security be everything else. So
no, I want to have a cocktail back there relaxing. You kidding?
Sure.
I always say fill your life with firsts. First time you pilot a plane, first time you jump out of a plane, first time you kiss your girl, I think you should fill your life with firsts.
Why not? Good memories, and you should be drinking now. I got to send you some Bandero tequila. It's my new one, Bandero.
Please do.
I sold Patron over 5 years ago and had a 5-year non-compete. But in this other, what I would call the next generation of smoothness in tequila, it's out now. We got to figure some way to get it to you without customs getting it.
Yeah, because Customs grabbed that phone that you sent me. That was a bummer because I love that 3D phone of yours.
As far back as I can remember, I have wanted to be an entrepreneur. Now, I am here to guide you through the intricate paths of building your business, embracing emerging technologies and navigating the startup world. I am Saul Tarazona, and this is Startup Corps, your go-to podcast for entrepreneurial insights and tech-driven success.
Okay, so now let's talk about peace, love, and happiness, your foundation.
There you go.
There you go. Love it. Love it.
Okay, Peace, Love, and Happiness is a family foundation. It's one I put together when I needed to have a vehicle, shall we say, to really tell the world what we're all about. So the Peace, Love, and Happiness, it's actually JP's Peace, Love, and Happiness Foundation. It's a foundation that only my family puts money into. We don't accept any donations whatsoever. And then we use it mainly for people that are really in need of food in different places of the world. We're really into protecting children with all the various ways, whether it's trafficking of children, whether it's abuse of children. We're into big time the environment. So we're really into saving life forms on the planet or making their lives better, whether it's homeless people, whether it's people that have, shall we say, real challenge in their life, whether it's mentally or something else, whether it's the planet species, the trees, the water. Of course, I do it with Captain Paul Watson all the time. Captain Paul Watson Foundation on the open sea, saving the whales, saving the dolphins, just everything like that that is alive, we put our family money into to make things better for people that are less advantaged or species that are dying off that we can help protect.
And there's a lot of problems in the world. I call it the insanity of humanity, and we've caused most of them.
Oh, definitely.
There's too many wars, too many conflicts, too much poverty, too much uneducation, not enough education. There's a lot of we need to do a lot of good, and
kindness fixes all of that. I'll give you an example. In Mali, it's one of the charities that we support there in Mali. And there were people in the country of Mali, a very poor country, that would have to walk every day 3, 4, 5 miles to bring a couple of containers of water back home. However, the vessel was they carried it in, right, to go back home. Now, when you have that little water, what do you use it for? Do you use it for bathing? No, it's not enough water. To use it for cooking, to use it for gardening, only for cooking. There's not enough water. And maybe a little bit of splash on your face, that's it. So what we did was I went and bought Ye Samake, who's very much into helping his country out. We started out buying a unit that drills wells, a well driller. And we drilled it for one. All of a sudden, they had water. What did that mean? It meant they had so many water in their own village. They could bathe. They could go into agriculture now where they could never do that before and get rid of starvation in many, many cases. I mean, it's changing. Already, I think we put into 48 villages throughout Mali, and then it was education. And we built them already through the Peace, Love, and Happiness Foundation. I believe we're working on our 9th school, our 9th academy there. First, it was just for girls because there was nothing for girls there to really speak of. And then all of a sudden, it worked out so well, the government let us do it for boys and girls together. And it worked out really, really well. So we're really into helping those that are in need, that need food, shelter, just something as simple as water to drink, let alone just use it for cooking. So there's so many wonderful things out there that we could do as a family. We do it together. It keeps us involved in making the world a better place to live for others while we're still here.
Well, I can only applaud you. Water is the second most valuable resource on the planet next to air. And unfortunately, humans have polluted our streams, our rivers, our lakes, our oceans, our seas, our atmosphere, and our lands. And we did it. So my theory is if everyone takes accountability for their actions, we could curb the problems we're having. Climate change is partially due to mankind, but not totally. We have volcanoes, and we have throughout the ages, we've had climate changes, just as a natural occurrence. What are your feelings on climate change?
On climate change, what we are doing is by participating what little we can, but it's enough to change things. For example, we're into recycling. One of our big programs here in Austin, Texas, where I live, is Keep Austin Fed. And what that's all about is we go around, and this helps a lot the whole world. Use of garbage is terrible. Garbage, the methane, all that participates in the environment, in climate change. It all participates somewhat, a little bit. So what we do is like Food for Austin, or Keep Austin Fed, is we have a group of volunteers that go around and go to restaurants and grocery stores and catering services after 5 o'clock. When they have food already made, they've got to throw it away because they can't use it the next day. They collect it all and take it directly to homeless shelters, people that are vagrants, or people that are old folks' homes, people that really, really need it. So it's one way of us reusing something. And then another company that I got involved with called Renew Logics takes all these electronics that have terrible things if you put them in the ground, and it just devastates the ground. They take them all apart, take out the valuable things and reuse them again, and they get rid of whatever plastic is left in an ecological way. So we're into these things in a big, big way. And all these little things help for what we do contribute to the climate change. But Monty, I wanted to tell you a story. When you were talking about kindness and joy and why that's so important, a story I was reminded of, I want to tell you, and of course, your fantastic listeners out there, okay? Back in the 1950s, J. Paul Getty Jr. was the richest man in the world. He had Getty Oil. I mean, he was the guy, probably the first billionaire that could be recognized, other than the big banking families. They don't want to talk about their money, right? Let's say the first one that could be recognized. Richest man in the world, even had a castle in London, right? And this guy who had a castle in London, rich man in the world, had a telephone. Now, in the 1950s, not like today, okay, if you had a telephone and you called across the city, you had to pay extra, like put another quarter in, another dime in, whatever, because it was called a toll call, right? So you had to put more money in. Well, one day he goes, looks at his phone bill, and it's like 400 pounds, whatever, which in those days was about $800, and said, oh my God, they're taking advantage of me, my guests. He put a pay phone in his living room. So
I know that.
the richest man in the world, right? So he wasn't happy at all. He didn't want to share. Anyways, in one of the rare interviews he had very few interviews, one of the rare ones, he was much older in life at this time. The lady asked him, J. Paul Getty Jr., if you could change anything in your life, what would you change? He said, this was his answer, I would give up the majority of my wealth and power, and I am the most powerful man on the planet. I have enough money, I could change elections, run things, whatever I've got to do. I have the most powerful guy on the planet of all the money. I would give up the majority of all my power and all my money to have been happy in my life. I've never been happy in my life, he said.
No,
I've been married 7 times, didn't like any of them. One of my grandkids cut off his ear with the mafia, sent it in for a ransom or something. He said, I've never been happy. He says, I would give up the majority of it to have been happy. So happiness and kindness go hand in hand, are the
No
most
question. No question. He was a son of a bitch, man. He was so greedy. It's just, he was a horrible, horrible human being. Another person, one of the billionaires in the world, was this Japanese guy, and he would dole out an amount of toilet paper to his employees.
He would.
Yeah.
Yes, wow. Do you would like here you have only 2 pieces? Oh, but how about the big sumo wrestler guys? What did they get, a whole roll?
No, they only got a little bit.
2 pieces here. Yeah, help yourself.
And JP, I think you'll agree with me. There's 2 words that are yin and the yang of life. I think fantastic is a powerful, loving, kind word that spreads energy. And I think greed is what's destroyed the planet. It's created the wars, created poverty. It's what's your feelings on greed? There's so much greed out there. It's disgusting.
People forget that when you do something for somebody else and ask nothing in return, and you do it the same way you want someone to do it for you, it's the greatest high you'll ever have. They forget that. When they get greedy, they don't feel right. Yeah, I took something, but well, I'll take something again. It doesn't settle you in. And you don't have those really good vibes coming from the universe right back to you when you're greedy. Along the way, you stumble, and a few things happen in your life that shouldn't happen. Has a lot to do with your frequency. Hasn't risen enough. You're getting greedy, taking from people. People will start taking from you.
Yeah. Well, I've got at this point 9,648 ambassadors of kindness.
Very good.
Ambassador of kindness number 171. And it's my mission to go around the world. And I'm very big in Africa. The Africans love me. I'm in 34 of the 56 countries with a lot of ambassadors, a lot of directors of countries there. And a lot of the poor people, they'll actually say to me, what's in it for me to be kind? And
Yeah.
I'd much prefer people say, how can I help? Which today happened. A young lady called who's a big book publisher. She heard about my book. And the new book is called How to Be a Fantastic Person. And we might have a collaboration going. And she said everything that I could dream of hearing. And she's an international publisher. She loves my mission. She loves everything I had said. And it's like I'm on cloud nine today. And then you call me, and I'm glad I was at home so I could actually be, because I'm in Antigua, Guatemala. You're in Austin, Texas. It's amazing. This isn't a long distance call, not a toll call.
Yeah, we have to pay for it.
We don't have to pay for it. Isn't it amazing technology? And you know, with access to 9,600 people like yourself, it's amazing. I'm interviewing one a week, like you, and it's only going to take me 182 years if I don't get any more ambassadors, and I get maybe 10 ambassadors every day joining around the world.
Yeah.
And it's my gift to the world. I don't ask for money. You've been very helpful as a friend, and you're just a great friend. And I love the fact that you're so kind. And you're on what's called the complete guide to happiness. And that's what our goal is on the planet, to be happy.
Yes, that's right. That's so true.
I mean, if you're not happy, and I always say on a plane, they say if the oxygen mask drops, put it on first, then help others. Because if you're not happy, you can't be of service to your God, to your country, to your family, to your business, to yourself. You have to be happy. And only you can make yourself happy.
That's true.
What
So
did you do
true.
today that made you happy?
Oh my gosh, it's going on your program here to be able to share this happiness with other people. Wake up in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I say, universe, thank you so much for all these opportunities that are before me, and I'm alive and I'm not hurting and I've got food to eat. And every night before I go to bed, I just say, Creator of souls, thank you for this incredible life you've given me. I really appreciate it. I do that every night, every morning. So it kind of gets me into appreciating everything around me, Mother Earth, which is a universe or part of the universe, as well as just the overall creator of souls, whether you want to call them, whatever you want to call them, Allah, God. I mean, you name it, it's just the creator of souls, whatever you want to call them, God.
And appreciate the little things in life. Okay. Yesterday, you may not believe this, but I have it on video because I've been videotaping my life for the last 5 years because it's kind of unbelievable. But I'm sitting on in my back garden, which I have a beautiful garden in this condominium in Antigua, and the butterflies, they fly around. They never seem to land. They look like they have ADD because they're just fluttering. They're all the time fluttering. This butterfly landed on my leg. For 10 minutes, he'd fly off and come back, fly off and come back. Finally, he liked me, so I put my finger down, and he crawled on my finger, and I have it on video.
That's right. But you connect it with love and happiness, and animals feel that.
It's amazing.
Hold on, what's that? Quiet on the set. Okay, sorry, they were talking back there.
No. I didn't think I heard it as I was talking, but no, isn't it? I think we're one in the universe. We're one with nature, and hopefully we become one with everyone else on the planet, because there's too much insanity going on.
That's correct.
And with people like you, we need more JPs in the world. And this guy named Monty, we need more Montys.
I'll bet you have a lot of them out there in your 9,000 some odd Be Fantastic people in the foundation.
It's a start. It's a start.
Good.
I mean, it's just a start.
Well, you'll get into the millions eventually. I
think so.
I might suggest that everybody watching this and that you think has the opportunity just to be kind or wants to be kind or around kind people, tell them to join on to what you're doing right now. And if everyone only took 2 people and put them on, oh my gosh, you've just tripled your audience. And then the more people that know about being kind, it's like your messages. I read your messages, okay? One of the great ones I like, really great ones I like, they got more recently, and it was this. Valuing yourself, in other words, your success, okay, is what you think and how you feel, not what others think about you. That's your success. That is what success is to you. It's what you think and what you feel, not what others think and feel. So you come up with these little things that are just phenomenal. The one I also like you came up with that I've been telling people for years, if you like what you do, and you like your job, your work, you're not working any longer, because that's happiness. Happiness is to have a job that you really, really like. That's part of being happy, because you've got to do something, you've got to have a purpose. But if you really like it, you're going to be happy at it and you're going to contribute.
Well, I never wanted to bother you with a bunch of texts, but every day I put one out to my hundreds of groups around the world, and some people share them and some people don't. But I've got a theory. There's three types of people. You're going to like this, JP. There's three types of people in the world. And this is the secret to happiness, by the way. When people ask me, what's the secret?
Yeah.
Well, I believe about 5% or less of people in the world have something that they really love to do. And when you have something that you really love to do, you jump out of bed in the morning. So the secret to happiness is to jump out of bed in the morning, looking forward to your day, and you're going to do it well because you love what you're doing. And when you do something well, someone pays you for it. So that's 5%. Now, 90%, which leaves another 5 I'm going to tell you about, 90% of people crawl out of bed because they have to do what they have to do to survive, and they're not really happy. And I believe that's about 90%. I may be right or may be wrong, but that's what I say. And then there's the other 5% that say, forget it, I'm not getting out of bed. So the secret to happiness is to jump out of bed in the morning.
That's a good way to start. That's a good way to measure it. Good way to measure it.
You know, I may be crazy. Now, my wife, Danielle, my ex-wife, she thought I was crazy to go around the world to do what I'm doing, to dedicate my life to this mission of saving the planet from the insanity of humanity. But you heard of Steve Jobs, I'm sure. You might even met him. Did you ever meet Steve Jobs?
Nope, but I know he is, of course.
Okay, he said people who are crazy enough to think that they can make a difference in the world are the ones that do. And you and me are making a difference. I'm pale in comparison to what you've done, but I'm a young man. I've got a long way to go, and with knowing people like you, it rubs off. I feel your kindness is maybe rubbed off on me as well, because I mean, I remember one time you told me, I think you feed 50,000 people in Africa a day, something like that.
Actually, it's 17,000, but
So
close.
see, my numbers are always different, but 17,000, that's a lot of people. I feed maybe 20 people in Antigua here a day.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But it is what it is, you know.
That's a lot. More than one is a lot.
You know, I always say on these videos that I've got 2,000 videos on my Be Fantastic YouTube channel, and if only one person watches it, and it's not about the numbers, but if only one person watches it and gets something and learns something and inspired or motivated by it, then I've done good. My time was worthwhile.
Exactly.
In this video, maybe only 10 people will watch it. That's not what's important. It's maybe one person that watches it that leads to this, like this lady who just called me, who's like over the moon, as many people. I don't know what's happening, JP, but I'm getting to a caliber of ambassadors that maybe my message is more concise, but they get it almost immediately, and they're just like flabbergasted that these three commitments could, in fact, help humanity.
Monty, your videos sometimes may just go viral. Then all of a sudden you've got millions of people watching it.
Never know. But I always say everything happens as it should, when it should. I wasn't expecting this call today. I thank you for, are you busy? You have to run away? You have to jump in your plane? What are you going to do today?
My pleasure, buddy. My pleasure here. No, I got something ready. We're doing a big Paul Mitchell seminar here later this week, so we're getting ready for it.
How many countries are you in, Paul?
132 countries.
132 countries.
Oh.
And I don't need it, as you can see.
Oh, hold on, one hair's out of place. Let me fix it for you. There you go. I got it. Okay.
I used to have hair, but you gotta accept you as you are. I always tell people, if someone doesn't like you, it's not rejection. You just may not be their cup of tea. Some women like bald guys. Some guys like big chicks. I mean, don't take it as rejection. Know that you love yourself. And someone, I always say, what's his name? Danny DeVito, short, fat, and ugly. If he can find love, anyone can.
Hey, to you and all your listeners, peace, love, a lot of happiness. It's been a pleasure, Monty. We'll go on your show again sometime.
Oh, that would be great, GP. I love you. You're fantastic.
Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview with JP. He's a fantastic human being, and he feeds a lot of people. So this next segment is the cooking segment. In the cooking, the second video, I prepare, because it's not cooking, steak tartare, which is raw meat, and ceviche, which is raw fish. So it's not really cooking, it's preparing. And of course, it goes right along with caviar. I love my caviar. JP loved my caviar. The best caviar in America. At any rate, the first segment is, I wanted to put it in because we talked about feeding the poor. I feed a lot of poor here in Antigua, and this was my first, what I call Thursdays, Feed Antigua. And I do it every Thursday. Then I got shut down by the police because I didn't have a permit to give away free food. It's always something. And so now I feed 3 to 5 times a week. I'll go to Santa Familia, where for 1 Q, I can feed a person, and for 20 Q, I can feed 20 people. And a Q, a quetzal, is about 20 cents. So it's a lot easier for me because I got to make my life easy, as you should make your life easy. And so now I just pay money to feed people instead of cooking the bean, buying the beans, schlepping the beans, cooking the beans, serving the beans, washing the utensils, buying the bananas or fruit. I had a donor for a while there, donating bananas and what have you. So it's a lot easier. You got to make your life easy. It's really important, so you don't have stress. And then, of course, getting all that stuff to the park with the table and the signs and a banner and everything I prepared to help the Antiguans. So this is the first one, which is kind of cute. I hope you like it. It's only a couple minutes long. Then we'll get to the preparing fantastic tartare and ceviche. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. Fantastic day to everyone. It is April 11th, the first Antigua lunch giveaway. Got the bananas, got the sandwiches, got some locals looking on, and hopefully we're going to give away some free sandwiches to all the locals. See how that goes. First sandwich, a banana. Yay. There's going to be the second one.
Thank you. No miro si está grabando ahí. Ahí está grabando. Sí. Okay.
So we've got a line forming. We're 5 minutes into the operation, and people are saying thank you. Each one. There you go. Sí, de nada. So it's going smashingly so far. Hola. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Qué niña educada, por favor, dice tan linda.
There you go. So far, so good. No, later.
Véala, mira, Ana, sácala de ahí porque va a jalar la mesa.
It's going smashing. People are lining up for the free lunch. This is the first of many, hopefully many giveaways. It's Antigua. It's lunch for Antigua, and people are enjoying it so far. Sí, nada.
No.
Okay, we're 10 minutes into it. Elizabeth is helping out. She's making some sandwiches. The crowd's forming. Marco's brought, one of our ambassadors brought some sodas. Marcus is over there in the blue. Everyone's helping out, a banana and a sandwich, and they all seem to be enjoying it and thanking. They're saying muchas gracias, and that's fantastic. That was the first young lady to get a sandwich and a banana. Dad's eating the sandwich. 100 sandwiches doesn't go very far, but we've got someone donated a loaf of sweet bread, I guess. And there's Dee, one of the ambassadors. She's fantastic. They are in 10 minutes. They went, Dee. All the sandwiches went in 10 minutes. But we have some bananas for people now. I'm very happy. Ben and Stafford, a few other ambassadors came by. Ben, how you doing, buddy? It went well. And Stafford, thanks for coming by. We'll get more next time.
Always.
100
Dr. Magnificent.
Dr. Magnificent.
Please.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
Dr. Magnificent.
Dr. Magnificent. And we still got a crowd. We have bananas left. So we'll have to buy more food for next time. If you want to donate, let me know, and we'll have even more food to give out. Okay, these are the volunteers. Elizabeth showed up. She was fantastic. And her friend, I'm not sure who that is. Who's that? Rita shows up. Stafford, ambassadors.
Dr. Magnificent.
Dr. Magnificent, but number 6777, something like that. And there's Ben.
Solo Ben.
And there's Dee, the first donor in the Foundation for World Harmony. Very proud to have her donate. And Anna. And then we got some Pedros here.
and Bella. Thank you, everybody, for helping out. Our first of the what hopefully will be every week here. It went well. The food went in 10 minutes. That was great. And I think everyone's happy. There's bananas everywhere in the park. Thank you, everybody. If you want to help Antigua, bring 10 bananas. Bring 5 pennies of bread. Just bring a few food and we'll feed a lot more people. You know, we gave out 100 bananas and 80 sandwiches, and we could do a lot more. That was in 10 minutes. So you can see the people are hungry, the people need the food. So please donate your time. If you want to donate some money, that's great. If you want to donate some beans for the next week, get a hold of me, 502-5531-8892. Let's make this a weekly event. I can't do it alone, everybody. I need your help. Thanks for watching. It was fantastic.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say, I am fantastic, la la la, I am fantastic. You can feel it if you say it. It ain't a game, you gotta learn how to play it. Fantastic.
Forsan Records is proud to introduce the newest album from Velena, including the singles Cut Me to the Quick, and Remedy. Velena, Save Me From Myself, available now wherever you get your music.
Welcome to another episode of Dr. Fantastic Cooks. We're going to have some fun today. Now, you might hear a lot of loud noise in the background. The school next door all day long has been having a fantastic time. Hooting and hollering and bells and fireworks and loudspeakers. And the neighbor, I ran into the neighbor and he said, I had to leave. I can't focus. Well, Henry Ford once said, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. And in life, as I'm a philosopher, as you all know, don't let anything bother you. If you let it bother you, you let it. So don't let babies crying, people having parties, people making noise, people screwing on your roof. Let it be. Anyway, I don't let anything bother me, and especially if the meal doesn't come out. But there are some secrets to my cooking, and if you've been following me for the last few years, I do easy, fast, economical, delicious recipes. This one wasn't so fast. Today, I'm going to show you how to prepare steak tartare and shrimp ceviche. Now, I'm going to cook at the table because you don't need to be on top of a stovetop always to cook. You know, sushi, you don't need to cook. It's raw fish, right? But as you might know, in my recipes, you always have to have a cocktail because if it turns out poorly, you don't feel so bad. So here's to cooking and eating and enjoying life. Now, I think later tonight, I'm going to do another episode, and I'm going to cook banana bread. Now, that's not cooking, it's baking. Baking is precise science, and it's not so easy. Cooking is very easy. So anyway, let's get started. So basically, what I did was I bought a pound of shrimp, and typically what I do with the shrimp is I pinch the tail like this, and half the shell comes off, and then the other half comes off, just like that. Okay, very easy. Then there's two reasons I do this. I slice the middle of it, in the middle of it, like this. Two reasons. One is I like it in smaller pieces, and two, every shrimp has poo-poo in it. It's a poo-poo vein. And if you ever ate a full shrimp, you ate its poo-poo. And I ain't shitting yet. It really is black it's their, digestive tract. We all have digestive tracts. So then I put it in the bowl like that. Now, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but this is a pound of, I bought a pound of shrimp, shrimp poo-poo. So, shrimp is delicious, and you've been eating it all your life, and you've been eating shrimp poo-poo if you eat a whole shrimp. I put 6 aside because I'm going to make a shrimp cocktail. Just boil the shrimp for a few minutes. I bought some Worcestershire sauce. I've got some Tabasco sauce and some ketchup, and we've got a cocktail sauce, and it's delicious. But we're going to prepare ceviche first. Okay. So now in the ceviche, this is 13 limes. I wasn't sure I was going to have enough lime juice, so I squeezed it first. Got that. That was the most work, of course. But you can buy. I bought lemon juice in a bottle. They don't have lemons here, so when they make lemonade, it's made out of limes. I'm in Guatemala, as you all know, Antigua. So I think I have plenty of lime juice, and that's gonna be great. And the lime cooks the shrimp. That's what's beautiful about it. So I've already sliced and diced and took out the poo-poo. Oh, there's a little piece there, and it's black, so you can really tell it's there. So then, with a pound of shrimp, this is 3 tomatoes, medium, small tomatoes. So I'm gonna put them all in there. You can't go wrong. You can't make any mistakes in cooking. If you like something more, you put more in it. If you don't like it, you don't put it in it. A nice little handful of cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, don't put it in it. I like red onions. 1 is the color, 2 it's the flavor. But when I make gallo, or no, not gallo, in your beer. When I make pico de gallo, yeah, see, I wasn't far off. I always like the red onions, or the purple onions, the red tomatoes, jalapenos, and that kind of thing. So this is a medium-sized onion. I'm going to keep some of it for my steak tartare. So I'm going to put about 3/4 of my chopped onions in it. I'm going to put fresh jalapenos in this one. I usually don't put fresh jalapenos. I usually like the marinated one, but I'm going to keep the marinated one for my steak tartare dish. Okay, so we got that. Typically, well, that's the next dish. I'm getting ahead of myself. I started thinking about the steak tartare. So basically, that's it. Some salt, and you can see I'm Guatemalan myself. So I bought some Guatemala salt and pepper shakers. It's more to help the little vendors in the park because they need to make a few bucks. Did the same thing in Charm. I always buy off the vendors in the street. I bought a gown from this one vendor, the Egyptian gowns, and it was enough money he made to start his own business. And he actually ended up introducing me to the governor of Charm. And when you do kind things, fantastic things happen. The other night, I bought, there was a lady at the bar, and they were giving her a hassle because her credit card didn't work. So I said, I'll pay it. It was 60 Q, which is not even $10, right? So I paid her the bill. She became an ambassador of kindness, and a day later, she sends to Banco Industrial 100 quetzales. So she gave me a tip for being a nice guy. So, a lot of times I see on the social media people doing kind things. And I don't know if it's staged or not because they give them a lot of money for being kind. There's one girl that won't shake his hand. The other girl shakes his hand, and he gives her $5,000 or $10,000. So it does pay to be kind. I'm dedicating my life to kindness, as you know. So here we go. You've got it covered. The reason I wasn't going to use the whole fish because you really got to cover the whole thing in the lime juice. And lo and behold, it's perfect. I swear, I don't know if I'm just a great chef, but every time I do something, I just pick 13. It's not like a specific menu or ingredients. I picked 13 limes. I picked a pound of, it's not like it's, every time it's different. So it's a pound of shrimp, and basically, I wasn't going to use all the shrimp because I didn't think I was going to have enough lime juice, because you never know how much juice you're going to get from a lime, especially a fresh lime. But
it worked out fine. Look at this. I'm gonna throw, I love Tabasco, I'm gonna throw a little Tabasco in there too. You know, can't go wrong. And it's gonna cook. Mix it up, put it in the fridge, which I'm gonna do in a minute. But now, because I know you're busy, I'm gonna show you how to make steak tartare. Now, the classic dish in a fancy restaurant, it's not cheap steak tartare, is they'll make the patty, they'll make the ingredients, they'll put all the ingredients in there, the salt and pepper, everything, and then they'll put the egg yolk on top. And it's a nice presentation, but what are you gonna do with the egg yolk? You're gonna mix it in with the beef and you're gonna eat it. So I'm not at a fancy restaurant, I'm at home, so I'm just gonna mix the egg yolk. This is how you do it. You basically separate the egg yolk, you crack the egg in half, pour it back a couple times, get whatever the other stuff's called. What is it called? Tell me that in the comments. So now you've got the yolk. Put the yolk in there. Now I don't like to throw away food. That is good for a white egg omelet. So maybe I shouldn't throw the shell in there. You know, in America, they wash the eggs because everything's got to be clean, right? They wash the eggs and then they got to refrigerate the eggs because they washed off the protective covering. In third world countries, in Egypt, in Belize, here in Guatemala, and all the other countries that are third world, and even the ones that aren't, the eggs aren't in the refrigeration because the natural covering of an egg protects it from spoiling. So if you don't wash the egg, when you're saving water, you're saving electricity because you don't have to refrigerate it anymore. You're saving the environment. Damn. So, whatever. Okay, so we got the egg yolk in there. Now, I usually calls for cornichons. I don't have cornichons, so I'm going to put my own pickles. I pickled these myself. Not hard to do. I might have done a recipe for that. I'm going to put a teaspoon of capers, delicious capers. Now, I'm going to use my marinated, because I can't go wrong with marinated jalapenos. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to throw a little cilantro in there, just a little. Because I like cilantro. If you like things, everything goes together. But I'm going to put a little Worcestershire sauce, or some people might call it Worcestershire sauce. Sprinkling of that. It calls for Dijon mustard. I don't have Dijon mustard, so I'm going to put a little bit of yellow mustard, not too much. Just a little sprinkle of it. Yellow mustard. Did I already put the salt and pepper? I have a short-term memory. Salt to taste. Salt's bad for you, of course. Pepper. I go through so much pepper, it's ridiculous. I put pepper on everything. And I got to buy one of those big jars eventually because I go through pepper like crazy. Now, never be cruel to your food. Don't be cruel. Gently massage your food, right? You know, people blend things. People overcook. Overcooking is horrendous. You know, they have a thing called sushi, right? It's uncooked fish. So why would you overcook your fish? Undercook it so it has some moisture in it. Chicken, they're afraid they're going to get some kind of disease, I guess. So they overcook their chicken. You can't really overcook chicken too much. They overcook steak. Oh my God. And then they put ketchup on it. Oh, the things I've seen. A really quality beef. I had a nice steak the other day, T-bone. Boiled myself a little bit. Some butter on it. Oh, it's delicious. So, then I'll just fold this up, get it all mixed up, refrigerate it so all the flavors get in there. And then hopefully the wine will still be. See, I was debating, do I go white wine or do I go red wine? Because red wine's going to go with the steak tartare, and white wine's going to go with the ceviche. Oh well, I went with the white because it's nice and refreshing. Again, I'm not over the hot stove, sitting at the table, I'm enjoying myself, I'm sharing my recipe with my friends, my ambassadors, the world. Let me give it a little taste in a minute here, mix it all up. You know, cooking, teach your kids to cook, teach your wife to cook, teach your husband to cook. You know, you gotta be, in this world today, you gotta be self-sufficient. When the shit hits the fan, you don't know how to cook, or you don't have water storage, and you don't have a desalinator, and you don't have all the things for survival, preppers are not stupid. Most people don't have the time to delve into what's going on in the world. They watch the nightly news, which is rich people telling you what they want you to know. It needs to be chilled. It's delicious. It's delicious. Actually, it's delicious without any of those ingredients. I put a little salt and pepper on just regular ground beef raw. It's delicious. It is what it is. I think I want to put a little bit more jalapeno in there because it's sitting there. I don't want it to go to waste. And that ceviche is going to be, it's already, look at that. It's already almost cooked. Let that. You see? Let me stab a piece here. It's already cooked. That fast. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Look at that. How fast it cooks. But you want it nice and chilled. You eat that on its own. I'm going to put this on a little toasted bread. A little wine. Wish you could join me. If you're in Antigua, join me. I'm all by myself here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you if you're an ambassador of kindness. If you're not, please become one. We only have 8,631 in 137 countries, but it's a start. Be kind to yourself. It's the hardest, most important commitment you'll ever make in your life. Be kind to all others and the creatures. It's the golden rule. Imagine if everyone treated you like you treat them. And be kind to Mother Earth. Reuse, recycle, repurpose. Reformat. There's a lot of re's out there. Use less water, use less electricity, walk, ride a bike. I walk in Antigua. It's 15 minutes to the store. It's 30 minutes of exercise there and back. It's fantastic. But anyway, so now you're gonna watch a little TV, relax, take a shower, let this chill, let the wine chill some more, and I'm gonna have a fantastic meal. I hope you do as well. And tune in for my banana nut recipe. It'll be the first time I've ever cooked it, but I don't go by the books. So I'm going to put raisins, which I like raisins. What do they call them here? Processed or something like that? And I'm going to put a little bit of pineapple in it. So it's going to be banana, pineapple, raisin bread. You know, most people would like practice with the raisin bread for 10 recipes and say, I'm going to try something new. I try something new up from the get-go. So let's see how that happens. Tune in for that one. I hope you enjoy it. If you like what I'm doing in the world, not these videos are all one-take wonders, by the way. Never a second take, never a rehearsal. One take, always. 2,100 plus videos, all following me as I go around the world, sharing my thoughts, meeting people, interviewing people, showing you sites, Ferris wheels, a fantastic burger challenge, the cooking show, the Giza Zoo, the pyramids in Egypt, you name it, the old geyser in Yellowstone National Park. Whatever I do, I want to share it with you, and that's what I do. I'm trying to make the world a better place because it's messed up, as we all know. I'm not going to say anything negative. Here we go. Got fireworks going. Great way to end the show. Fireworks. Everyone's having fun. Don't let anything bother you. Nothing. Because if you let it bother you, you let it bother you. This guy, my neighbor, lets it bother him. And he said, I can't focus. Well, if you say you can't, or if you say you can, you're right. Henry Ford. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic night. Every day is important. Every day on the top side of the grass. Be positive. Love yourself. Love others. Love the planet. And we're going to have a future. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. Be kind to yourself, others, and the planet. Let's make this world a better place. Thank you for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed that cooking episode. Make sure you get your kids and your friends in the kitchen. Enjoy cooking and enjoy eating it. That's even better. Until next week, whatever you're doing that's making you happy, keep doing it. Please like, subscribe, share. Invite people to become an ambassador of kindness. Joining us in the kindness revolution.
We need to cure the insanity of humanity by spreading kindness. If you watched the episode this far, you are fantastic. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's working together. I can't do it alone. I shouldn't say can't do it alone, but it's going to take me thousands of years to do it alone. I can do it with your help. It's just a little time to share this with someone. As Sally sells seashells on the seashore, shared this with Sally, and I'm crazy. I know. What can I do? What can I do? See you next week.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say, I am fantastic, la la la, I am fantastic. You can feel it if you say it. It ain't a game, you gotta learn how to play it. Fantastic, fantastic. Just listen to the doctor. He's a rocker. He walks around all day. He ain't plastic. He's not sarcastic. He says, I am fantastic.